My speech today is entitled Effective Evaluations. Evaluations, I think they're the hardest role to perform during these meetings. For example, Michael is doing my evaluation today. He'll need to listen intently to what I'm saying, focus on my presentation, watch me speak, and take notes all at the same time. Then he'll have just a few minutes to organize his thoughts before presenting his feedback to us. It's not an easy task. However, after giving almost 100 evaluations, I found 3 keys to being an effective evaluator. The 1, 2, 3s of great evaluations are strategize, empathize, and organize. Say it with me. Strategize, empathize, and organize. All right, one more time. One more time. Strategize, empathize, and organize. Very good. The first key, strategize. So before the meeting, I need to prep. I need to come up with a plan. For example, I'll decide before the meeting starts whether to use the second or third person during my evaluation. Whether I want to speak directly to the presenter or speak to the audience in general. I'll also list out a few exciting phrases I can use during my eval. Something like superb job, or that was a genius idea, or to improve your speech, I suggest, rather than saying what I saw that was wrong was, a little bit better way to phrase it. I'll also review the goals of the presentation. So today is get to the point, and then I can comment specifically on what the speaker is trying to achieve. Finally, I'll take a look at the evaluation forms that we just looked at for ideas and suggestions that I can glean from there to help come up with ideas for my suggestions. So one of my favorites is alliteration here, using rhymes, staccato, cadences, that kind of thing. And if I am ever stuck on what to suggest for making the speech better, that's one of the ones I always go to. The next key, empathize. My job as an evaluator is to provide constructive feedback. I'm not a judge, I'm not an authority, and I'm not a professional speaker. I'm simply giving my opinion. And I always need to remember that the presenter has most likely spent hours crafting their presentation. So I got to be respectful and give honest feedback. And I think we're really good at that. So far, we've been fantastic at being respectful and giving really good feedback. Sorry. The next one is try to evaluate the style of the presentation, not the accuracy. It's fine if the presenter isn't accurate. My job is to evaluate the presentation. I've evaluated speeches that were completely bullshit. I mean, they had absolutely no accuracy in them at all. Or a speech that made me angry. The conclusions the speaker came to I didn't agree with, and it made me angry. But I had to put that aside and just evaluate on the way that the presenter gave his presentation. The next point is to be specific and offer specific suggestions for improvement. I like to try to include an example, something I would personally do differently, or to make a suggestion that I may not have tried ever, but that I thought would work well. And also remember that these meetings are for experimenting. And if somebody has experimented with something, I've seen a few speeches where it just didn't work. You know, they tried to do something and ultimately it didn't come off right. Maybe it was in the presentation itself, or it could have been in something they did, facial expressions or a joke they made. Something didn't work. And whether it worked or not, it's good to call that out. So if you see something new, be sure to call it out and then maybe give a specific example on how it could have been better. And finally, send a follow-up email. It does two things. First, often when I give an evaluation with only 3 minutes, that's very little time to get through the list of items you may already have. Sending that follow-up email can give you the opportunity to give your entire list of them. The second thing is that it starts a conversation. So if the speaker didn't agree with your evaluation or they had some issues with it, they wanted to talk to you about it, that opens up that line of communication that you guys can talk through it and come to an understanding. Maybe he or she misunderstood your comment in the evaluation. The last key is organize. You'll need to quickly organize your thoughts before giving your feedback. And I really stress keeping notes. Later you may not need to, but I still do, and it really helps me a lot. The next one is practice different techniques for taking notes. One style I found is having 4 boxes on your page. So the first box is what you saw. The next box is what you heard. The third box is how you felt. And then the fourth box is suggestions for improvements. Another tactic is one that I use, and that's use colored pens. So I'll use different pen colors of feedback and also use different highlighters for different types of feedback. Others I've seen rewrite their notes. They'll write all their notes and then they'll quickly rewrite their notes before they give their evaluation. And the third thing is use the sandwich method. So give a positive, suggest improvements, and then finish off with another positive. And the goal is to make the speaker feel good about their speech and get them ready for that next speech. You've offered some fantastic criticisms. You've pointed out all the good things. That's the Michelin star steak burger. I've done a sloppy Big Mac. I mean, it happens. But as long as you use the sandwich method, they're going to walk away feeling good about it. Here's an example of my evaluation form. It looks like a mess, but there's a method to my madness. The blue here, the blue ones, that's what I wanted to say first about the speech. This is from an evaluation I did yesterday. It was Carl's speech. He was giving his icebreaker. And I highlighted the phrases that he used that I wanted to make sure I mentioned during my evaluation. And in red, I highlighted the item that I thought he could use some improvements on. Threes of a great evaluation. Say them with me. Strategize, empathize, organize. Sweet. Nice. Follow these 3 keys, and I promise you'll be an effective evaluator. Thanks.